everyone. We are here at the L'Oreal Professional Products US headquarters in New York City. We are so excited to introduce you to all of these amazing people that we've been able to speak with. Stay tuned for these episodes of Beauty School Bobbi and make sure that you are subscribed to be notified when these episodes come out. So we're so excited to have you both here today. I'm excited to talk about access. So access is something that I was exposed to recently that it's literally like one of the main icons on my phone. I don't think I told you that yesterday, but it's there. And I'm so excited to talk about what this is and what this amazing resource is to beauty professionals. So in a short, brief summary, what is access?
It's everything. It's education at your fingertips. It's 1,100 modules. It's techniques. It's business advice. It's everything that stylists ask for and everything that we can give them from all of the brands.
Yeah. So you all kind of are going through like a change right now with access, right? Like it just like revamped, adding so much. But we were just talking before. So during COVID and all of that stuff, that's when this became like extremely important. So why was that so important during that time? And then what has that kind of carried on to at this point?
Sure. I mean, I can speak to my experiences a little bit different because I was actually running a chain of barbershops during COVID. And when everything hit, we were short-staffed. We weren't able to have in-person classes. And so we really turned to access for truly everything. I mean, that's where I have my passion for this is because we relied on it to upskill our team, to update our team on everything from diversity, equity, and inclusion to techniques, to cuts, to product knowledge, because the brand reps weren't able to come out. So it was our lifeline to the industry.
Yeah.
And definitely, I think, from a PPD perspective, when COVID hit and salon education kind of came to a halt, this really was the touch point for education for a lot of salon professionals, which is a really amazing opportunity for people to upskill online. And to be able to continually refresh their education and their skills.
Yeah. So how can beauty professionals find this and get access to this?
Yeah, definitely. So we have our online, www.lorealaccess.com. And then also on our app at Loreal Access. So you can download the app. You can, honestly, access from any touch point, anywhere in the world at any time, on desktop, on mobile, on your tablet. We have many different ways that you can access that.
Yeah, and what will you find in there when we get to that point inside of the app? Where do you start as a beauty professional? Like, how do you jump into all of this? Because there's so much in there.
Totally.
I know there's certifications. What do we need to do, or how can they what are they going to find when they open that app?
That's a great question because it really is a wonderful Pandora's box. We have a lot of people will search by brand, by keyword, by technique, whether it's balayage, whether it's
hair cutting,
right? Like literally.
Yeah. Everything.
Product knowledge. We have a lot of people that will come just because they've found this product and they love it and they want to know how to use it. But it's a rabbit hole because everything, for the most part, most of our modules are under 5 minutes. So it's designed to be watched in the break room, in between cuts, even just in preparation. I have someone coming in that's a level 4. I've got Shades EQ. We want to take her to a level 10. This is what we want her to look it up, watch it, and everything is from the pros. So you're not going to get bad advice. You're not going down some weird YouTube rabbit hole where you never know what you're going to get. This is all created from the brands and from beauty professionals.
I think that's so awesome. So who are some of the people that have contributed to
I am
this?
So glad that you asked that because I wanted to segue in and say, to David's point, we have a lot of educators that are, world renowned on access. We have Sam Villa, Min Kim, we have Jamal Edmonds, who actually just won NAHA this last year in the texture category. So we have a lot of amazing educators that are really leading this content really at your fingertips. So it's really amazing.
I didn't realize that everything was so short, and I really love this idea of being in there's downtime sometimes, right? Like it's just like a part of the business. You might have a client that cancels. I think that's a big issue in the industry right now is cancellations, and I think to have that time to really be proactive enough to say like, I'm going to go ahead and do one of these classes real quick, or I'm going to just make sure I'm freshened up on this, because the worst thing or the last thing that any stylist wants is to fall behind in the industry. And so I think it's so awesome that you can do it quick, you can do it easy, and you're still like, it's going to walk you through step by step for the certifications and stuff too.
Definitely.
Right? Like it's like per class, right?
Right, absolutely. So we have a few curated learning plans that users can access that really takes them through a breadth of content. And then some are even certified, so you can become certified. One in particular that I'm fairly proud of is our content on Cut It Out, which is really for individuals to learn and to understand the I just lost my train of thought.
Okay. We can pause.
Well, I mean, even just the responsibility that you have as a stylist, right? Like we focus on cutting hair, but you have a real human being in your chair, and sometimes they tell you things and they give you clues, and with Cut It Out, it allows you to recognize these and help make a difference. It's our domestic violence initiative from the Professional Beauty Association.
Yeah.
I think that's wonderful. And I don't know if you guys know this, but in the state of Tennessee, they're actually required to get that certification now.
Yeah.
So I think in salons in other states, like go ahead and be proactive enough to say like, this might be coming as a requirement. So go ahead and get that done now on Access. I think that as salon owners, I think that this is something that's so amazing for your team that could really be like an initiative of like, hey, like in contests and stuff like that, like who did the most classes on Access this month, or who did, I think it's so cool to have that resource, because I think, like you said, even though we're out of the pandemic kind of now, whatever world we're living in now, there still is that miss of like bringing in education is expensive. And it's not always doable. Everyone's schedules are crazy. I think now more than ever, stylists are valuing their time away from the salon. So this is an awesome way to be like, go ahead and get this done while you're here. And while you're in the building and while you have that time, without it being like, okay, everyone get here. We're all traveling to this place to go to this thing. It really is a great supplement.
And really to your point with that, it really creates this ecosystem of online and offline education. So, online education is truly meant to supplement that in-salon education that we all get. So it really helps to continue to upskill when you can.
Yeah, and I think, like you said, like to not just like do and not just like go on there and find like this is real, and it's available to everyone. That do you have to have like do you have to be L'Oreal affiliated?
That's a great question.
It is a great question.
Absolutely not.
Absolutely.
We would.
Awesome.
This education is available to anyone. You could be using one of our competitor brands, and that's okay. We just want to be able to share the wealth of knowledge.
Wow. Okay, that's awesome, because everything seems to usually be among. I mean, it's just like the way that the world is. It's very separate, so anyone can use this. That's amazing.
I mean, honestly, the two of the strengths of a L'Oreal partnership are education and leading with business. And so we want to be able to provide that for everyone. We want to be able to show people that this is what we're about. We're about helping stylists grow. We're about helping stylists educate themselves. And to a point you said earlier, it's almost a great litmus test. If you are a salon owner, if you do own a beauty school, like what is everyone doing in their downtime? Are they curious? Do they want to learn the latest skills, or are they just checking social media? Like you want someone who's ambitious and wants to learn, and we're happy to be that vehicle.
Well, and I know when I was in beauty school, my teachers were always like, look, when you're first starting out, you're not going to be super busy behind the chair. And that's okay, right? But take that time, grab a doll head and start learning. So this platform Access can really be the key to continuing your education outside of beauty school, to continue growing your skills, so that when you do get busy behind the chair, you have those skills developed.
Yeah, I think it's really cool too to expose beauty school students to something like this, to meet these educators, to meet these people that are big in the industry that you might not have had exposure to, but like take a class with them.
Right.
Like that's the best way to get to know them and get to know what the industry is about. And when we're talking about products that you're choosing, and a lot of the conversation this week has been choosing salons that are going to give you extra education in this professional product and all of that stuff. I think this is a great way to start with that. I think it's a great way to see kind of what's coming, as well as if you are a seasoned stylist, to go ahead and get like freshen up, like stay current, like make sure that everything that you're staying on trend to offer what your clients are asking for, because obviously you want to be successful and you want to make money. And if you don't, know the current trends, you're going to fall behind. Okay. So if somebody's just starting out, I know there's different levels on Access that you can kind of build up to. So starting out, what does that ladder look like?
Yeah, that's a great question. So certainly we have content, for individuals who've been behind the chair in a salon for 10 years and wanting to upskill. But we also have content that's been curated for schools. Particularly, we have school learning paths that we've developed that really coincide with the books that you're learning in in beauty school that pair with content that's on Access. So if you're just starting out or if you're in beauty school, we have content for you that you can continue to learn and it isn't going to be beyond the reach of what your understanding is.
I think a lot of beauty school students, I don't know if you remember feeling this way, but I think a lot of them want to be challenged a little bit more. Like not everyone, but some of them are just hungry for that and they want to see that. So I think that's an awesome thing too, because you're going to get a little, level yourself up. Like take that responsibility on to do that when these resources exist. So what do you think like the number one value is, or why is this so important to the industry right now? What is this doing?
I mean, I would just say personal growth. Every stylist, every salon owner, if you can't find something on Access, you're doing it wrong. And it's just a great tool to grow and to grow your experience with clients as well.
I love that.
Yeah, I would say the value add is definitely just continuing to upskill. I know when I was behind the chair, I took every, course that I could that was being offered by my salon. But this allows me to really take my education into my own hands and really start to learn the topics that I'm wanting to learn more about. So it really lets you, take that into your hands and have it in your fingertips.
Yeah, and I think it's like I said before, I think it's just so important that this is in a professional way. That this isn't just somebody that is down the street, not even licensed, telling you how to do something. That these are the top beauty professionals that you'll get to watch.
And we work closely with all of our brand education partners. So the content that you're consuming on Access has been, built by our education teams by brand. So when you see that content, that's content that, our brands are wanting to promote and wanting to share.
Yeah. And okay, let's talk about the product side of this. So new products are coming out. Most salons are going to have reps that are coming in. I'm talking a little bit about products. Again, there's different levels of reps coming into the salons as well. Some are going to be super hands-on and they're going to talk to you about what that product does. And some are kind of going to be like, okay, we have this, and you just see it on the shelf someday. So let's talk about the product side of this. So when new products are launched, there is a place that you'll be able to get all of the information about each product, what it does, how to sell it, like all of that, correct?
Always 100%. I mean, I don't think we've had any new launches in the last few years that there hasn't been at least one Access e-module on. Because to your point, you're not always going to get the full story from your reps because they're not all hairstylists, right? And so they may know the ingredients and sell-through techniques, but to really get that technique, I would look up everything on Access just for ideas and inspiration.
Yeah, I think that's like a big, it's something that makes new stylists very nervous. So I think like having that information and being able to study it, I know a lot of students that would feel a lot more confident to talk about the products and sell the products and reach their goals and their numbers. If they are Summit, you're hitting those level goals. And so retail is so important. And to have that knowledge, you're going to be more confident when you actually know what it's doing, and videos going along with that, I assume, for each product as well. Is that correct? Okay.
And getting the verbiage, right? Like you're going to be talking about this product with everyone in your chair. So like getting that verbiage down right. And to your point, having the confidence to speak about it too is so important.
Yeah.
Right. Confidence is everything. And it's not necessarily selling product. It's about prescribing products. So when you understand how that product works, what's in it, Why is it going to value your customer? You're elevating yourself beyond just selling. You're now, prescribing and informing and, giving your client something that is valuable to them.
Yeah, which again, I just keep going back to salon owners at this. Like, I really am like, every salon owner needs to be having their staff use Access, because I think that's who's going to ultimately, I mean, everyone benefits from it.
Right.
Everyone benefits from the education. But as a salon owner, to have your team selling that luxury product, that luxury brand that they carry, and being more confident in that, obviously, about making money. It is a business.
Right.
So I think that this is great for stylists, great for salon owners. Like, I don't see anyone who doesn't benefit from this. Like, it just really hits everyone.
Absolutely. And it's funny you say that too, because when it comes to salon owners, salon managers, we actually have functionality within Access where you can manage your salon. You can manage your team's education experience. You can assign classes. You can track whether they've been watched and completed. And you can really customize the education experience.
Wow, that's awesome. I love it. See, I haven't even dove in enough to see all of that. I mean,
It's
that's
everything.
really amazing. I love that. And I think just like salon owners right now there's so much going on that to make it easy, or salon managers to be like, hey, did you complete this class? Like, we have this going on. Like, it just seems like it's laid out so easily. Like, how would you not use this? It's so great.
And we're seeing, a lot of salons who are hiring new associates, developing these associate programs with content from Access. And to your point, it makes it so simple to connect with your new stylist and delegate and assign content to them.
Yeah.
You can even do follow-ups and make sure that they're actually completing that content and seeing what their grades are on that content, so that you can follow up and really support them if they're needing more support outside of that learning. So there's so much you can do with Access as a salon manager or owner that really helps to add value to your education plans.
That's really cool. But there's an Instagram for Access.
Absolutely.
Okay, so that would be a great place to connect, I think. So where can we follow Access? Because I think that would be a really cool place to see people, stylists in other parts of the country, other parts of the world that are using this, and really kind of get to meet. So where can we follow, and where can we check out Access?
Absolutely. So our Instagram is @Loreal Access. It is a global kind of touch point for our community. So to your point, you can really get to see what other people and how other people are utilizing Access all around the world.
So cool. Well, I love that. Thank you guys so much for being here, and thank you so much for working so hard on this. I think it's honestly one of the biggest things, the pieces that we need right now. And I'm just like so excited to go tell everyone about it. Like, it's so exciting, because I think like I said, every part of the industry can benefit from this. And I think it's just something that's really going to level up. So I'm so thankful for the work that you all are doing on this. We're going to take a quick break from the podcast to hear a word from our sponsors. Today's sponsor for this episode is LEAD. LEAD is the first degree designed with beauty professionals in mind. To create future professionals and leaders for this fast-growing industry, Rolfs has partnered with Loreal, Arizona State University, and Mesa Community College, and is proud to launch the first ever college and university degree designed specifically with beauty professionals. It's time to acknowledge the level of impact beauty professionals have in our lives. Every year, an individual consults with a beauty professional over 48% more than a physician. This is why advancing the accredited education of beauty professionals is our mission. LEAD is shaping the future of beauty by developing the minds and expanding the intellect of beauty professionals who maintain and restore our self-expression and well-being. For more information, visit leadinstitute.degree today. The folks at Access, L'Oreal's online destination for professional education, are ready to kick off the holidays. Because they love cosmetology students so much, they're launching a holiday promotion just for you. It's called Haul for the Holidays, and trust me, it's a haul like no other. And what's even better is that it couldn't be easier to participate. So here's how it works. Starting on November 1st, you will log into Loreal Access, complete the Hall for the Holidays learning plan, which has been curated just for students so they can learn about different L'Oreal professional hair care and color brands. And then you'll hop over to L'Oreal's Level Loyalty Reward site and enter to win the Ultimate Stylist Starter Kit. 100 students will win the holiday haul containing prizes like a mannequin head, a carbon comb, tint brushes, mixing bowls, super cute capes and aprons, towels, a ton of full-size L'Oreal products, and so much more. Then 10 lucky winners will get all of that plus enough level points to redeem for a nice set of shears or a Dyson hairdryer. Typically, you have to earn points on level by buying L'Oreal products, but with Haul for the Holidays promotion, you have the chance to get them for free. How insane is that? Students will have just until before the end of November to complete it. So make sure you're signed up for both L'Oreal Access and L'Oreal Level Loyalty Rewards program. More info is on its way, but go ahead and get excited. This is about to be a happy holiday indeed. Now let's get back to the episode.
So I want to kind of talk about your story
Sure.
in the beauty industry. So what was your first exposure to this and how did you first come into this world?
God, I came into the industry by accident, actually. I had just gotten my master's degree in forensic psychology.
Wait,
And
what? This is so random.
It is so
I love it.
random. And I had no idea what to do with it. And I actually started working part-time as a receptionist for a barbershop company in the Northwest called Rudy's Barbershop.
Okay.
And from there, I started full-time managing and then multi-unit managing. And then I was actually recruited by L'Oreal to work for Matrix in sales.
Oh.
And so I was with Matrix for about 5 years, and then all of PPD. I worked with salon-centric stores. I worked with salons, and then I came here to Hudson Yards to work for L'Oreal Professionnel. And I did trade marketing, and then the pandemic hit. And so during the pandemic, Rudy's, which had at the time been acquired by venture capitalists, went into bankruptcy. And the original owners, at the last minute, they found out what was going on and they bought their baby back. And so in the middle of quarantine, while I was at home, in between Zoom calls, I got a call from the original owners and they wanted to know if I wanted to come back to Seattle and run Rudy's. And I said yes, without consulting with my partner and my family and all the people I should have consulted with, because I knew that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to be back in salons.
Yeah.
And so I moved to Seattle in June of 2020. And I worked there for about a year and a half. We grew from 20 shops to 36. And it was a challenge. And honestly, one of the biggest challenges for me was we didn't have access to educators. We didn't have access to the brands. And so access was, it's funny, I can drop the word access in a sentence like 17 times, but access was really a lifeline for us. And so when this opportunity came up and to work with L'Oreal again and to be part of this team, it was just a no-brainer. And then I met Garrett.
Yeah.
And it's like, all right, just sign me up.
Yeah,
Sign me
that's
up.
amazing. Me too, also. So, L'Oreal, if you're listening,
I know.
I know.
So, what was it about you? Do you think that made you're not in the industry? Okay, so like you're a receptionist that you said. Like, what was it that made them like target you to say like we want a bigger role for you? Like, come on board. Do you know? Like, have they ever shared that? Like, what was it?
I don't know. I feel like so much of styling and working behind the chair and working in the industry is psychology and is interest in people.
It's true.
You can teach some of the skills, but you can't teach empathy and you can't teach just that wanting to know about people.
Yeah.
And I love that. And so the second that I was in the shop, the second that I started working with customers, I just fell in love with it.
Yeah.
And I hope that shows.
It had to have. I mean, it's rare that somebody that's not behind the chair is going to get noticed. I don't know that it's actually something we haven't talked about on the show before, but receptionists in the salon or salon managers that maybe aren't licensed are such an important part of the salon. I mean, it's the face that you see when you walk in the door. It's who's going to have a lot of customer interaction beside the beauty professional. professional. So it is a really important piece, but to be like noticed in that role is not something that I hear a lot. So it says a lot about you and like your attachment to the industry. And I think you identified a lot of what that is, but that's a really big deal. But then also to have the heart to say, like, I want to go back in this time of the salon struggling. Like, I want to go into something that's going to be a challenge, number one, but to be pulled back to something that's like local, and something that is, you obviously believe in their mission and what they're doing. I think it's really special and I think it's really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I honestly, I mean, it's such an honor to work at L'Oreal, to work up here.
Yeah.
But, you know, if you look here, you're
It's
not
an easy
always,
sell.
right? No, but you're also not always, you're not in salons every day.
Right,
And so to just get back,
Yeah.
you know, down to salons and working with people that are passionate about their craft and seeing the differences that are made. I mean, I needed to recharge my batteries, and that was so important for me.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny because little moments in life you just remember. And I remember it's like my second week at Rudy's. It was a Saturday. We were on like a 90-minute wait, and I misquoted this guy by so much, and I was just running around like crazy, like, you know, do you want any coffee? Do you want any that? You know, just almost manically. And he literally grabbed me by the shoulders and was like, just calm down. I'm loving the music. I'm loving the people. I'm loving the conversation. Like,
Wow.
there's no problem here. I'm happy. And that really, it planted a bug in my head, which is, you know, if the environment is right, if you have that positive energy, you know, that's what you need. That's such a big part of the equation. Obviously, the technical skills, but when you're cutting hair, you're touching people. You're physically touching their hair, their head, and if your energy isn't right, if your passion isn't there, you sense that, right?
Yeah, that's so incredible. And I think that's such an important message to just be like, to really slow down and to just trust that like you're doing the best that you can, but all they care about is your kindness and your love. And things do get crazy sometimes, but that human connection is what matters. So I think that's so awesome. I think that's such a cool story. How does your family react to you being like, I'm not gonna, first of all, do you listen to crime podcasts?
Yeah.
Okay, what is your favorite?
Oh my God.
What are you on right now? Because I will listen to like, it's funny, I'll be like, because I'm like very smiley and happy.
Right.
And I'll like have my podcast and at work, like my headphones in sometimes, and I'm like, so-and-so just got murdered or beat to death with whatever. Like, I love these things. Like, I'll listen to like Dateline or like Murdoch Murders right now. I make my husband like, yes, I listen to all of this. I'm like, can you believe it? Like, I love all of these shows.
I love it.
It's so crazy. So I'm sure with your background, this is like something you're interested in.
Oh my God, yeah. More on TV.
Yeah.
Like, I love
So I can't watch it because I'm like a baby. Like I can listen to it, but I can't watch it. Okay,
Right.
so you're like watching the crime like documentaries and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And usually just it's scary how much Hulu knows you. You know, so like I'm a big just David, this is what you're gonna like, and I just click on it, and I'm like, you're right.
It is crazy. But there is like, I think there's so much in like in Seattle. Like isn't it like the number one like murder capital or something? Like, and I think it's because of like the weather and stuff. Like
It could be, yeah.
Disorder. So like, is it St. Louis is?
Oh, interesting.
Okay. Well, okay.
Oh my God.
Thank you for knowing that.
First of all, yeah, that was amazing. That was like
right off the bat. He's like, no, it's St. Louis.
you knew the number, like not even just the city. You're
Can
like,
we also talk about how Dawn was the one not on the list today to get into the building?
I know.
We were like, we actually think.
I love it.
No, but like there's so many stories like I've listened to and stuff from Seattle. So like it probably would have been like a very busy job for you. Like it's so crazy. And you might have found success in that, but like what an opposite, like you are two sides of the spectrum of like a job that probably is, well, not probably, would not have been like a happy, fulfilling, and like just knowing you for 2 seconds, I can't imagine you being in that because you're so smiley and so happy and like you get like just have this great energy that I feel like the beauty industry like pulling you in is what needed to happen. Like, Can you like think of yourself in any other industry now? Like
Never.
This is it, right?
Never.
Yeah.
This is my light. Like honestly, I would be soulless if that one experience hadn't happened.
Yeah.
I mean,
but you said master's degree, right? Like, I mean, you went for a long time, like, but it was never a thought of like, maybe this isn't a route, or like, do you remember that time even of being like, I mean, like, it's not like you went to college and tried it. Like, you got your master's degree in this. Like, you literally could go back and do it. Like, it's crazy.
I do. I remember going to a tour. I was actually going to get my PhD, and I went to this university in Illinois, and they were number one in research, and just everyone was in this basement crunching numbers and doing experiments, and I just had this oh shit moment where I'm like, I can't do this, but I didn't know what I wanted to do. I knew that crunching numbers and sitting in front of a computer screen wasn't it, but I didn't know what it was. And to your point, the beauty industry, it spoke to me. I wasn't looking. I just wanted a job. And the second I stepped into that salon, I mean, just the music, the people, the creativity, the passion. There's nothing like it. There is no runner up.
No,
you know what I mean?
Really
like there is
like
no
at all. Like this is it. This is everything. How I've like been begging Garrett to move to Knoxville the whole time we've been here. There's something called the Body Farm in Knoxville at the University of Tennessee, and it's where they study decompose. This is the weirdest podcast interview we've ever done. We've literally we have not talked about murder yet. But they like literally study like decomposing bodies.
Oh my God.
And so it's actually really close to our house. And there's like this gorgeous house that's up on a hill. I'll send you a picture of it. But the doctor that leads this, what's his name, Mark?
Dr. Death.
Yeah. Yeah, but he lives in this like beautiful mansion that like you can see like on the river. I'm gonna send you a photo. Like so successful, and like people come from all over the world to like see what he's doing.
Wow.
But it's really crazy. So I can't wait for you guys to visit. I have so much to show you. Well, I just want to say thank you so much for sharing your story. Again, this was a weird interview because of me, not because of you. But I'm just so thankful for you sharing that like you came into this in a different way, because I think so many people feel like, I don't know what I'm meant to be doing. I feel stuck in this. Maybe I'm not where I'm meant to be. And even starting out as a receptionist position, you don't have to just jump into beauty school. Try it out. Like get your feet wet in the industry a little bit. Like Garrett and I talked on our episode about how people just don't even know all of the different jobs you can have in this industry. You don't have to have a license. I think it helps in a lot of ways, but you don't have to do that. And so I think like your message of like, go take the leap, take the jump, and like just try it out, because the beauty industry will suck you in either way. Like even if you're not sure that that's the route you want to go, I think it's really cool. So thank you so much for sharing that.
Thank you so much for watching this episode of Beauty School Bobbi, brought to you by Loreal Access and Lead. If you enjoyed this episode and know somebody else that would enjoy it, make sure you share this with them. Follow us on Instagram at Beauty and Style Network. Follow me at Beauty School Bobbi. Make sure that you are subscribed on YouTube. Ring that bell so that you're notified when new episodes come out. And if you're listening to a podcast, leave a 5-star review and tell us how amazing it was. Thank you so much, and we'll see you soon.